Hey, what is up guys? So as you know, the beta exclusivity period for Xbox has now ended, and as of tomorrow everyone will be able to play it. So I thought after a seemingly short 8 hours of playtime with the beta, of which I only actually got to play 6 of, I'd make a video of my thoughts on the game so far. This will of course be a review before my final review of the game. I'm going to be going over a few points that I thought were important and what I liked or possibly disliked about each. Of course, there will also be gameplay in the background, and that is from my recent, and as it turns out, first ever live stream. That will be linked in the description, so please feel free to go check that out. We may or may not have killed the Mothman whilst playing during this session, which we definitely did. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Firstly, I'm getting reports of breaking news regarding beta keys. Okay, so you can now head over to my affiliate, key codes on selly.gg, linked below, and use code Rehrune to get 10% off anything in the store. Wait, so that means although they're already the cheapest keys on the market, you can now get them for even cheaper. Now that is a great deal. Okay, sorry, as I was saying, we'll start with the gameplay. The gameplay holds true to the most recent Fallout installment and plays very similarly. However, there is a few changes and tweaks that have been made to adapt the new online aspect of the game. The AI is currently lacking in my opinion. There seems to be some very lifeless enemies, and when there's a slight issue with latency and lag, fighting them can be a bit of a frustration, as we've even seen in my Fallout Let's Play. As this is a beta though, they can and probably will work on this, as it was even pointed out by publicists and content creators at their very own events. However, accessing containers and looting enemies is still just as easy and very responsive, even when rushing around. There was a couple of times during my experience that almost glitched out and meant I had to go back and pick up an item I missed, but whether this is human error or just network is yet to be known. It didn't happen enough to become annoying, but was definitely present. Onto a more positive point though, other players, they appear almost flawlessly and move around as you'd expect your own character to, making the whole online aspect very immersive and fluid, which I do appreciate, as there's nothing worse than having a teammate ping around wherever you are in an online game. Now onto the actual mechanics. I found the menu navigation a bit to adapt to, especially with the remapping of buttons and whatnot, but that will resolve itself over time as I get used to it. There was also a lot going on, especially at the start. You're learning to adapt to being online with 23 other players as it is, and you have this overwhelming amount of information thrown at you. Whether this is trying to absorb information through a holotape while someone is unloading their entire ammo collection, or whether you're trying to do something that 5 other people are trying to do as well, whilst under a level of pressure as someone jumps around waiting for you to finish. This again though is just my opinion, and maybe something we, or at least I, get used to. Which is another reason why I wanted to complete this beta week, getting familiar with the game, then take my series from there. There's also of course now the addition of events, which are great, and from the 3 I've seen and played, are quite varied and short enough to be a fun change in the game's pace. However, I am sure there will be a variation on the event's lengths. The same applies to the challenges that you can complete for additional atoms. I think this is a great touch. Although this is something I didn't have time to do, I will definitely be going back to do this when time in the game isn't limited by a beta session. As for the story though, I've honestly yet to experience much of this, and definitely not enough to comment on or form an opinion that reflects the entirety of the game. This, however, as well, will of course be in the final review. And don't even get me started on the awesome locations in the game. I've experienced no way near enough in my time playing, but everyone sharing content has painted a very dynamic Appalachia, all the way from the creepy Mothman Museum to the Greenbrier Resort, which I experienced both in my recent beta Let's Play livestream. There's even Mr. Handies that look like pumpkins floating around amongst pumpkin fields. What more could you possibly want? To conclude though, this beta is a solid show of what we're in for, and it shows a lot of promise in regards to things we can look forward to. If you haven't had the chance to play yet, whether that's because of the platform you're on or because the time slots haven't been suited to yourself, do yourself a favour and try and log some time on the beta. You will not regret it, especially if you are doubting purchasing the game. A lot of people I know have been doubting getting it, but they have now played the beta and they are going to play the game when it comes out at launch and have now pre-ordered a copy. So definitely make sure you do that. And like I said at the start, if you grab a key from Keycodes on Selly linked below and use code Rehrune for a 10% discount, you can get access to the beta for cheaper than anywhere else online. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're enjoying the beta as well. If you are, let me know down in the comments section below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and peace.